Hello guys, welcome to the final forecast, so the Friday forecast, and let's take a look at the market. So the euro and the US dollar, looks like we broke the high retraced, broke the low retraced, left a huge wick up, huge wick down, and usually that signals to us a range, so we are starting to get that range. Right now, as you can see here, this is ranging, but it is also descending, so it's a descending range. And what I'm seeing right here is I'm seeing that maybe we will get a nice reversal up and a nice long trade out of this descending structure. So we can clearly see that we broke the low retrace, broke the low retrace, broke the low retraced, and that there is a high probability we will reverse. Or we will get more of a descending, which would be even better, even high probability, and then get a reversal and then look for that long trade. Also, we can just get an ascending from here, and then we will get a larger range, because you know, when we see a descending into an ascending, it signals to us a larger range. Also, what can happen, we can drop to a downside, get a large impulse, look for a short trade, so that is a possibility. Or get a push, pull back, another push, trend down, or get a trend up, then look for a break and retest trade. And if we get that larger range, then we need to watch out for those liquidity areas, which would be right here and right here, and see how the price reacts in those areas. Otherwise, it can just break and retrace back into the range, but not anything clear on this pair currently. There is no clear direction, so I'm definitely being more patient and sitting on my hands. We are having this small descending, but since it's Friday and I don't think we will get any moves for the rest of the day, and Mondays and Tuesdays are predominantly range bound, so what I am expecting is that larger range, especially on the euro, which really likes to do those ranges. Okay, so now for EJ, well, this one is even worse. So we broke the high, just a second, we broke the high, left a huge wick, retraced, broke the low, left a huge wick, retraced, and now we're getting this range, which prior price action signaled to us. So what I'm expecting is more of this, definitely. I'm expecting a larger range, so we have to look at the liquidity areas, those nice liquidity areas, and look how the price reacts. Does it just break and retrace, or does it break and continue like this? Also, what I am looking for is I'm looking for a large push up, so like this, or a large push down. Then I will look for a flag or a descending structure, then a reversal, but it needs to be clean since it's coming from range bound price action. The setup really needs to be clean. Also an ascending, and then a reversal, and then a trade short. So that is it what I can forecast. Not seeing anything here. This is just a heavy range, so I'm looking for that conviction and some clear clean price action to look for any trades. And now for the Aussie and US dollar. So I was talking about this long trade yesterday, and it ended up being a 2% win, so that's good. So I saw this V, volatility in favor, so the impulse continued in the direction of the second V leg, and then I was willing to place a pending order. We got a clean close right here, so textbook trade for me, and banked 2% on this one. Just followed my stop under the most recent low, and right here we broke the low, retraced, and now we are getting a counter trend move, which is also starting to trend. So we broke the low, retraced, broke the low again, got some momentum right here, then we broke the low, retraced, broke the high, retraced, but then broke the low with again some momentum. So what I'm seeing here, I'm seeing a trend to the downside, although it's not a clean trend since we did have this structure, but I'm seeing a trend down, and I do like that this candle broke and closed below, and then the next candle broke again and closed below. So I do currently have a pending short order at the most recent low, so at the bullet level. Of course, I won't be putting a risk to reward tool as I don't want it to be taken as a signal, but I do have a pending order and I do like this to go down. So I do like this trend to go down. Especially what I like this 2 candle break of the most recent low, and we are coming from an ascending structure right here. This is the ascending structure. So we know that when we see an ascending structure, it is high probability for the price to reverse, which it is now doing. So we had this ascending and we are now reversing down. So that's a good sign. For me, this is a high probability trade. I'm happy to have a pending order and I'm waiting to see what happens. Maybe we get more of a push down, then I would look for a flag to go short. Or maybe we get the break and retest trade, so small pullback, break and retest. Or we can just retrace back and get a V. Small range push up, look for a long trade. High probability pattern, of course. Or we can start to descend here, look for a reversal up and a long trade. Or also we can start to ascend, get the reversal and look for a short flag or a break and retest trade. So that's it for AU. I do like this price action to reverse to a downside. I am seeing a start of a trend right here and I am looking for a short trade. But what I need to keep in mind, it is Friday and I'm not trading after 5 p.m. and after 12 p.m. I'm looking for only the high probability setups. So let's see if this plays out or if we will have to wait until the next week to get in on some moves. So for my final pair, let's take a look at the Aussie and the Japanese yen. There were a couple of opportunities right here. So what I was seeing, so we broke the high again, retraced, broke the high, retraced, broke the high, retraced, broke the high, retraced. So what I was seeing an ascending structure at the top. Right here was the ascending. Let me zoom in a bit. And then I was seeing a break of the low, retrace, a break of the low that continued down. So maybe some people were looking at this for a reversal trade. So for it to tap the inside bar, which would be right here, and then reverse down. But for me personally, this was not enough of a break. What I found on the Aussie and the Japanese yen, it really doesn't like reversals, and the break really needs to be clean and the prior price action needs to be clean. In this case, I would say that the prior price action was clean. So this was a clean small ascending inside this larger ascending, which is high probability to reverse. But this break, we broke, closed below but left a huge wick. Then we broke, we didn't even fill the prior wick, and we also left a big wick right here. So this close just wasn't convincing enough for me. It looked like, I would say, it looked very bad, especially for this pair, which is something that everyone can backtest. So I wasn't willing at all to place a pending short order at this inside bar, because I know that this is not a high probability break, but the prior price action did show us a nice smaller ascending inside a larger ascending. So what happened then? Well, price tapped the inside bar, and then unfortunately, if anyone was in, they would get stopped out. So we broke the low, retraced, broke the high, and got some real nice momentum. So at this point, I was seeing this momentum up. This looked very good to me, and at this point I did have a pending order at this inside bar. So right here I had a pending long order. I really like this. I saw this trend to the upside continue, because we know that the Aussie pairs do like to trend correctively. So this looked like it will continue to trend. I saw a 2 candle break of the most recent high, clean close, almost no wick. But then what happened? Well, we left a huge wick, and at this point I removed my order. I wanted to see more of a range and then a flag or something like that, but I definitely wanted to see a range. So then I removed my order, and then the price tanked to the downside, which is okay, because we know when we see a huge wick, it usually signals to us a range. So we usually get the range, or we usually get a V reversal. So what I'm looking for next, I'm looking for this V, I'm looking for a small range, and I'm looking for a continuation of the second leg. So that high probability pattern I'm always talking about. Or I'm looking for a descending, then a reversal up, and then look for a long trade. Or I want to see a large push, and then I will look for a short trade. Or we can just stay ranging in this area. That is a possibility. Then we will need to be careful about the liquidity areas. So always keep that in mind. Also, what can happen, so we can push to the upside and get a nice opportunity, but it would need to be a large impulse to clear out of this V. I want to see a large impulse to clear this area. Also, a possibility is we can get an ascending, then we reverse down and look for a short trade. So yeah, that is it. Also, I can also forecast. We can get a push, pull back, another push, break and retest. But that's some textbook stuff, not really important to mention that. So something like this. So yeah, that is it for the forecast. I will see you guys on Monday. Let's see if we get some more moves today. But I think we are done, and that we will have to wait for the next week. So yeah, that's it, and I'll see you guys in the next one.